Alright, so check this out, guys. I'm gonna show you some replays of each of like the three main ways to play Tenpai: Sky Striker, Fiendsmith, and Pure, which is a mixture of hand traps and board breakers. Then after that, I'm gonna talk to you about which version I think is the best way to play Tenpai, and basically rank the three main versions of Tenpai. So I hope you enjoy the replays, and I'll catch you at the end of this video. So I'm going to start off with the Fiendsmith version, which is you're going first all the time, trying to at least setting up your negates through the Fiendsmith engine, or using the Tenpai engine along with whatever pistols and whatnot you have to go into Fiendsmith stuff, and then you're after your opponent's turn, you're trying to OTK after you basically stop them through the Fiendsmith version and your hand traps. For me, I found it very, very inconsistent. When it worked well, but it was very inconsistent. I'll draw the Tenpai stuff a lot first turn and have no Fiendsmith stuff, and that would I would lose the surprise factor come turn after next. We're in a meta with Mermail, we're in a meta with Crystron, and we've got Malice coming soon as well, so there was either no targets for the Bestials, and with Malice coming, he'll probably be doing them a favor banishing their cards, so that kind of sucked. It's the TCG's preferred way of playing Tenpai. I don't play TCG anymore, Master exclusively. I don't really get why it's the preferred way. Yeah, I don't get it, because if I was playing TCG, I'd be playing the Sky Striker version or the pure version at least. You know, maybe whacking in Gold Sarcophagus or whatnot for... Wait, isn't Gold Sarcophagus banned or something in TCG? Well, whacking in something in there to try and draw into the Tenpai cards if they've got massive hits on the Tenpai stuff in the TCG. But yeah, I'll definitely say this is the weakest of all three in my opinion. It does, someone in my comments mentioned a while back that they felt it had an identity crisis. It doesn't know whether it wants to go first or second, and I 100% agree with that right now. Yeah, I'd definitely say it was the worst of the three. So this is the list I went with for the kind of pure hand trappy Tenpai, even though it's got a ton of board breakers in there as well. I feel like this is a perfect kind of mix. I found this list in Master Duel Meta. I'll try and put it in the comments for you guys. But yeah, this is basically you just stop your opponents with the hand traps and try and draw into your stuff using the insane amount of Maxis and Foolosses you have in there. It's surprisingly consistent. I never really bricked. It's very consistent, to be honest. It doesn't have this board breaker potential of the Sky Strike stuff, but for the most part you don't need it. You'll draw up the impulses and whatnot will stop your opponent, and then you can just break their boards with you don't need that many board breakers in there, but you've got the important ones and you'll break their boards with it. In terms of Tenpai, it probably is the best way to play Tenpai, but it's not my favorite way. But it probably is the best because, if you look at the Duelist Cup top 100s, you look at the World Championship qualifier top 100s and whatnot, the only versions of Tenpai that ever get in there is this version. So this is probably the version to play if you're trying to just purely rank up, but it's not my favorite version. Obviously that goes to Sky Striker version. Okay, so this is the GOAT version of Tenpai, okay? So you're going second, you're using the Sky Strike stuff to help break boards, but more importantly using it for its draw power and draw into your board breakers and draw into the Tenpai engine with all the hits. For me it's the easiest way to play Tenpai because you're just freaking chilling your opponent's turn, and then forget what you do, you just chill, and then you just start hitting them with kind of basic cards, Raigeki and whatnot. They're no nonsense, beginner friendly cards, so I definitely say it was the easiest way to play it. Winning the coin flip with it is annoying because when you do win the coin flip you lose the surprise factor, and your opponent will know you're playing Tenpai. Well, it's like that with every Tenpai, but with this I guess you've got less ways to respond in terms of hand traps since you're not using any. One thing you've got to that comes with this deck is there'll be times when you'll have you won't be able to break the opponent's board. Like, you'll just see it and you know, like, yeah, no, there's nothing I can do to break that, you know. And you just kind of got to accept it. If you get the Sky Striker engine going and get the draw power with it, it feels unbeatable. You're literally just drawing card after card after card off of engage. You're spoiled for choices in terms of hitting your opponent. You know, Ultimate Slayer is not a once per turn. It's crazy. It's yeah, like I mentioned with the pure version of Tenpai, like that's the version that seems to top events. You know, you watch Decade, it's never the Sky Striker version in his tournaments. It's always like the high level players play the hand trap and just pure version with a mixture of hand traps and board breakers, more balanced. But for me, this is my favorite. It's the funnest version. It's better than the Fiendsmith version. It'll get you to master easy. It's what I would recommend players to play if they if they want to make Tenpai but they haven't chosen which version yet. This is the version I would choose. It's got lore behind it now because, you know, we've got the whole Rei Sky Striker anime. Now she's got some dragons, and this is the version I'm gonna be going forward with mostly. I may make a pure version video because I was doing really well with that, but this is the one. This is my favorite version. I'll definitely say the pure version with a mixture of hand traps and board breakers is probably the best version. And for the most part, I would stay away from the Fiendsmith version unless like you have some sort of TCG knowledge that overrides how it's been performing most recently for me in Master Duel, because I did quite well with it back when I made a video about it like a month or two ago, because I was like doing really well with it on the ladder. But yeah, this is my thoughts on which version of Tenpai is the best, and I hope you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more Tenpai and other stuff. Thank you so much.